we say hello and welcome to our friend Larry Fitzgerald, 17-year NFL vet, one of the greatest wide receivers all time, and the only guy I've ever heard, can I talk? Call Randy Moss Mossy. Okay, nobody else gets to call Randy Moss Mossy except for this guy. More on their relationship coming up, a story I promise you won't want to miss. But first, let's get to Baltimore last night as the Texans were taking on the Ravens. Ravens heavy favorites in the AFC divisional round. C.J. Stroud gets his second playoff game, and the Harbaughs reunited at the Natty and at the AFC divisional matchup. Jim and John, more on that later. Let's start in the first with Lamar Jackson. I mean, we're going to see a lot of this throughout this highlight. It's pretty much the same thing over and over. Rex, Lamar Jackson scrambling.
Impossible to stop, man. It's not even fair. You outlaw that tush push. How about outlawing that guy running? Oh, my goodness.
This guy is money every time he's up to kick. Justin Tucker kicks a 53-yard field goal. Longest field goal he's ever kicked in the postseason. And then Randy Jackson again, same old thing, sprinting up the middle, 23 yards before he comes down.
One thing, Sam, it's late in the first quarter, but I couldn't figure out, was the Texans more scared of his arm or his legs? Well,
apparently his arm early, giving him a lot of cushion in the second quarter, up the middle again. He's down at the 2. Ravens in the red zone, trying to hurry up. Later in the drive, 9 minutes left, and to Nelson Aguilar. Nice little pitch and catch there, Larry.
You got to love the rub routes in there. Everybody's getting caught up in the trash when they're crossing and able to slip their free.
Kick routes. We call
rub routes. You see how they are, Vroom.
How about this one? Steven Sims catches the punt right up through the middle, takes it all the way to the house. Everybody's fired up on this one. This is a guy who didn't play a lot this year, but what a statement he made here.
That was Alex's guy, remember?
It was in Washington.
That guy, his former teammate.
Special teams coordinator fired up. Then 2-minute warning in the second, and Stroud to Nico Collins. Rex, we were going to see a lot of this late, too.
Heck, can you complete that, man? What a great route, I mean, that guy's got such a bazooka for an arm.
It looks real pretty right here to Nico Collins again. That one for 16. Later in the drive, Kaimi Fairbairn from UCLA, 47-yard field goal attempt, and he misses it.
30 letters.
The game, it's a cool name, okay? 10-10 at the half, 12 minutes left in the third, and Jackson again.
After the tongue lashing at halftime, he had them boys ready to roll.
Yes, he did. He ran for 50 in the first half and 50 in the second half. Let's go to the fourth quarter. He can't just run, guys. He runs a little bit and still finds Isaiah Likely. Randy Moss, you tell me, I think that's a Moss.
Well, over Stingley Jr., that was a great play, but one thing I said earlier about, are they scared of his over his arms or scared of his legs? Well, for 4 quarters, I don't care what they were scared of. Lamar Jackson looks good, folks.
Yes, he does. And so did Dalvin Cook. Freshly off the New York Jets, Larry.
Look, somebody's actually utilizing them. You know what I mean? He goes to New York,
that?
nobody give him the ball.
Oh, man.
Good things happen when you leave the Jets.
Yeah,
Oh, my goodness.
Jackson into the end zone. And he goes all the way into the tunnel. I thought it would have been so cool if he just kept going.
Yeah,
he was like, you know what? I've done enough. This game is over. They defeated the Texans 34-10. The Ravens advanced to the AFC Championship, 24 unanswered in the second half. Everybody fired up for C.J. Stroud, too, though. After the season he had, Lamar Jackson into the locker room. And John Harbaugh just letting it all loose. Have a good time, John.
That's it. Pass it off, Harb. There you go.
I know the Ravens don't have the head coach in there twerking across the sign right now. That's how you coach Harbaugh.
He had like a lasso going. Wasn't even twerking.
I don't know about that.
34-10 is the final score. And here's both teams after the game.
That was kind of the feeling in the locker room at the game, and everybody just kind of took a deep breath and said, all right, you know, it's 0-0. Gave up a big punt return, and it's our game to go win. We got to go take it.
Really good football team. Credit to the Ravens there. It came out in the second half. They executed better than we did. We did not execute well enough, all right, to be in position to win the game in the second half. We didn't make plays. That's what it all comes down to.
We was rusty. You know, it was windy. It was cold as heck out there. Offense as a unit, well, we scored once. First half, drove the ball a couple times first half, but we didn't really have success. So we came out second half and we did what we were supposed to do, put points on the board. Still playoffs, we're not in the dance yet, but I'm looking forward to next week, to be honest with you. I'm not even thinking about the Super Bowl.
We play next week. They come into the bank, and like I said before these guys came here, whoever come has to get dealt with. There's a villain to every story, and hey, that Cinderella story ended, so on to the next.
Oh, man.
It did, but it was a good story while it lasted. This Texans team, so much fun to watch, such low expectations, and they outperformed in every way. But let's get to the Ravens, Larry. I mean, I know Lamar's saying he's not talking about the Super Bowl, but after what you saw from the Ravens yesterday, do you think this team is headed towards the Super Bowl?
Absolutely, and I want to showcase this Mike McDonald. Unbelievable job. They didn't cause any turnovers. They didn't have any sacks, but you don't see too many times where a defense is able to completely dominate. You know, Texans only had 47 plays, 213 yards from scrimmage. I mean, it was complete domination. There was never a time in the game where you really felt like they were getting, you know, a foothold and getting their system going. They did a wonderful job, and when Lamar's playing like that, and his defense is playing the way they're playing, this is a deadly combination.
You know, Larry talked about that great defense. This is the second time they've held the Texans without scoring a touchdown.
0 touchdowns,
Like
yeah.
in 2 games. Like, it's an amazing job. That kid's done a great job as a coordinator there. But Lamar Jackson, oh my goodness.
Yes.
And it's not just the great arm, but the poise he has this year. But this is this is undefendable. You can't do anything about it, and especially as long as it goes, everybody's so deep, he just takes off, and it's lights out. And guys, you have to be coordinated with your pass rush. If you're going to go with a 4-man rush, everything has to be inside and in front on Lamar Jackson. They're running like twist games inside. As soon as you do that, Lamar's like, oh, really? Boom, 20 yards. Like, you can't do it. And to me, I thought they had a great plan initially. Forget all that. We got to send 5. We got to blitz. We got to do something. You can't just let Lamar sit back there, have all day, and then pick you apart or run. And I thought that was the mistake that the Texans made. Even though, I mean, listen, the guy did a great job. I mean, this is a fantastic job by a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback. Dude, I mean, obviously, we talked about it. It's damn near impossible to get to a championship game with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback.
It's impossible. Dude.
Impossible.
Impossible?
It really is.
I know a man by the name of Ryan that went with a rookie.
Well, that must have got
He was waiting for that.
Hey, but, you know, I'm not giving any moral victories here, but, you know, it was great. You know, piggybacking you, it was an outstanding job by the Houston Texans. But I want to talk about Lamar Jackson. And I remember, I don't even know how many years ago, all this controversy and all this talk about him being quarterback. And the one thing that I set up on this TV and said, wait till he gets some weapons. Then we'll see what's been said about Lamar Jackson. And the reason why, because everybody's thinking about Lamar Jackson being able to scramble, get out the pocket. Well, is he a runner first or is he a thrower first? Well, I'm going to tell you what I saw last night. There was a play last night to Isaiah Likely where we talking about getting down there to the lower guys and do not throw it down there because, Larry, us tall wide receivers, we got a big catch radius. Watch what Isaiah Likely tells his quarterback. Hey, what does that mean, Larry?
Throw it up.
Throw it up. Yeah. So guess what happens the very next play? He throws it up there and then he Moses Stingley Jr. So I am so excited about the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson, where they're going. Hopefully gets a shot at a Super Bowl. And the reason why? He has weapons. I know what he can do with his legs. Now we get to see what he does with that arm.
This is the first time, though, that the offense coordinator is absolutely brilliant here. He goes protection first with a running quarterback. So many times we see just the opposite. Well, let him do his magic. No, protection first. Look how comfortable Lamar is. I mean, they can put 6, 7, 8 guys in protection sometimes and then leak guys out. But when he's protected, he's almost impossible. And Brew, I mean, could you imagine having to try to stop this guy right now?
No, I don't want to. But
me either.
I don't know what Fitz said about the tongue lashing at halftime. I mean, Lamar just seems like he won't be denied.
Yeah.
He won't be denied this year. You hear him speak, how he plays, the tongue lashing that he gave the team at halftime, but it is just not good enough. And you could see it on the field, the way he was doing that in terms of the call runs. I mean, how he got into Ronnie Stanley after a run. I was like, this guy is not messing around, because usually Lamar, I mean, this is a guy that's great personality, positive, and all this stuff. But you see, quarterback run, Stanley goes out. I don't know, he may be blocking the wrong guy here, but he runs into Lamar, actually tackles Lamar there, and this is about Lamar getting into his face and saying, listen, big fella, we got a championship to win, and I'm trying to do things here. Get yourself right. And then, of course, later on, I mean, the touchdown run by Lamar, and you know who led for him here. I mean, it was Ronnie Stanley, one of the best left tackles in the game right here, gets his hand on him. But hey, this is what I'm talking about, big fella. The tongue lashing at halftime. Lamar is holding people accountable and letting them know there's only one result that he wants, and that's winning the Super Bowl. And who's he celebrating right there? The very same guy he tongue lashed in front of everybody and how they celebrate. Come on, get in front of this camera. This is what Lamar's doing with this team. Get on my back. I'll be the verbal leader. This is Lamar Jackson that won't be denied.
And they even said that he's not a vocal leader. He doesn't say much, but when he does speak,
you better listen.
He carries a lot of weight. And that just shows you his maturation. He's taking the next step. You know what's even scarier, Sam? They're getting Mark Andrews.
Yeah, that's
and
them
Marlon
without
Humphrey
him.
back next week. Oh, my goodness. 2 All-Pros back in the lineup. Oh.
You know, sometimes you get reminded why teams won the #1 seed.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that yesterday was a clear example of that. You're talking about the Houston Texans, and I'll just talk about them a little bit, how it was a great year, but you're right. Bobby Slowick, you need to look for answers because it's not about winning the AFC South, is it? Because it's not really the most competitive division. It's about, can you beat the Baltimore Ravens? All right, can you beat the Chiefs? If the Bills are there, can you beat these guys? That's what it should be about. I mean, because not having scored a touchdown against McDonald, the defensive coordinator, he owns you, okay? So what are you going to do? You got to get better somehow to compete.
But you're saying they got to have the answers. I don't know what the answer is to that, to what we saw yesterday with a quarterback like that that can hurt you in so many ways. Real quick before we go to Adam, Rex, I'm curious, between the Bills and the Chiefs, because they will host the AFC Championship in Baltimore next week, between the winner of that game, who do you think matches up with them better between the Bills and the Chiefs?
Well, I think the Bills do. And the reason I say that is, number one, I mean, Josh Allen can do similar things, can run and all that, but they've also had a pass. They beat them before. They know they have a better idea how to defend them. I mean, either way, it doesn't matter.
I was going to say, I think it's going to be tough.
They can both show up. They're going to beat them.
It's going to be tough either way, that's for sure.